All right, enough Merseyside. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
Arsenal destroy Chelsea 5-0. Jules, this was a proper beatdown where they unleashed a can of whoop-ass.
Yeah. To be fair, I thought Chelsea with the ball in the first half when it was 1-0 for Arsenal.
Had a couple chances, yeah.
Yeah, they had a couple of chances. I thought they moved the ball well. I thought there was some coherence in the way they moved that ball. And then I don't know what happened at halftime. I don't know what was said in that Chelsea dressing room, but it was not the same team in the second half. And Arsenal, who, to be fair, stepped up, put more pressure, more intensity in their own game, were outstanding. One of the best halves I've seen this season from this Arsenal side. The ball from Odegaard to Havertz, some of the finishing, Ben White. Okay, they got
There was a
lucky
foul
at
before the ball from Odegaard.
Yeah, I think that was a foul.
Does that mean that we can just disregard the beauty and the genius of Odegaard in hitting the pass? I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
but
he still did it.
also, how come it's not a red card in that first half against Nico Jackson is beyond me completely. So,
because if it was a red card against Nico Jackson, Chelsea wouldn't have any center forwards left in the entire team because they sent my boy Brozier away.
Yeah,
that's why. And it would be unfair.
It's an embarrassment from a Chelsea point of view. I have to say, I'm not really sure I understood the decisive Badiashile. I know Thiago Silva can't play every game.
They didn't play at the weekend, so they were fit, supposedly.
So, I don't know. It was really that second half, I think, is just what we saw from Chelsea all this season, really, when they shambolic like that. It's pretty bad. I thought you want to say something, but probably it's better for you.
Yeah, the next question is Chelsea related.
Yeah.
So
and now Poch is under pressure. Obviously, the Times report that his position will be reviewed at the end of the season, and his future could depend on if they qualify for Europe or not. Do you believe that, and do you agree with it?
So the Times obviously have very good connections at Chelsea, not least because Chelsea's new head of media used to work at the Times. I think this is. I think if somebody at the club says, "Oh well, we'll keep or sack Poch based on whether we qualify for Europe," then there are morons who shouldn't be associated with this club. So no, I don't really believe that. Yeah. Actually, that's not how you judge. You cannot judge Pochettino's work this season based on whether you qualify for Europe because it depends on a bunch of factors that have nothing to do with Pochettino, right? If you keep a manager, if you think the team's going in the right direction and it's developing.
Yeah.
Will they qualify for Europe? Yeah, they have a shot. I mean, sixth place right now qualifies you for Europe. That's not going to change. But the thing is, so they're 6 points behind Manchester United, and I believe they have a game in hand.
Yeah, on United, but 2 on other teams as well.
The other teams, they're 1 behind West Ham. Okay, you're going to giggle when I say West Ham. 3 behind Newcastle, and of course 6 behind United. So it's possible, but they should not be the determining factor in whether you keep them or not. Jules, there's plenty more quick hits.
Yes, let's go.
Manchester United come from behind to beat Sheffield United 4-2 at Old Trafford. Jules, I don't even want to think what the mood would have been like if it had stayed 2-1 and they'd lost at home to the bottom team in the table.
I don't know what to say anymore about this team, about Ten Hag. It was so bad for so long in that game, and in the end, it's okay. Bruno Fernandes bailed them out massively, the penalty, and then the second goal, that shot with his left foot is brilliant. They
showed a reaction. He showed a good reaction, no?
Yeah, but and they have to thank him because apart from that, again, I thought he was just not good at all. I mean, the Onana mistake on the first goal is so bad. The way they concede the second goal is so bad. Yes, they won, okay. That's the most important. But we go back to that point. I cannot see how or why they would keep Ten Hag.
Well, if you analyze, you will see. No, actually,
very good impression.
He kind of took this one on the chin a little bit. Look, his players reacted. His players could have not stopped playing for
Bruno
him.
reacted. Sticking with United, our colleague Mark Ogden reports, Gab, that Erik Ten Hag faces a 25% pay cut if United fail to qualify for the Champions League next season, which looks quite likely right now.
It certainly looks, I'd say, more than possible, more than likely even. I mean, look, good. United build this into their contracts. They say if we're in the Champions League, we get this much more money, and you get a share of it. If not, you don't. So I don't think it's a big deal. This may not be a factor if he gets sacked at the end of the season anyway, so it's not going to mean much. Unai Emery has signed a new contract at Aston Villa, Jules. I bet you like this as much as LME does.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's good.
Why does he need a new contract?
No, he's extended until 2027. I guess when you do well, you get rewarded, right? Okay. When the person who can give you a new contract your like director of football is also your best friend, it helps. When the sporting director, who can also provide a new contract, is your other best friend, it helps, obviously. But no, more seriously, he's also doing a great job. I think his names was a bit linked there by Munich, other clubs. So maybe they just thought less secure.
I'm trying to imagine a conversation between Christian Purslow and Unai Emery, just because they're so different.
So different.
Like the two of them, like I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
That would make for great, if Villa's social team, you should just send them, they don't even have to talk about football. You just have to talk. Like, have the two of them sit down for lunch somewhere, eat a sandwich, and just talk. And
that would be fun.
Just do a live stream of that. West Ham have reportedly talked to sporting boss Ruben Amorim. Jules, I know West Ham won the World Cup, but it's a bit of a step down from Liverpool, who he was previously linked with. And given they currently have a manager, albeit one you don't like, isn't this a bit disrespectful?
I don't think so. This is the way they do. I think they know that David Moyes is not going to be
there.
there.
But they're physically meeting with him.
Well, yeah, you have to prepare for next season already.
Oh, Moisey, is it okay if we meet your replacement?
Moisey, you won't be here next season. We don't want you here next season.
But they haven't said that to him.
Well, we don't know that. You would not meet another manager if you wanted David Moyes to stay. So
no, presumably not. But
well, yeah, exactly. So they may have. Well, I've told them, listen, you're not staying. We're looking for another manager. To be fair,
this whole thing stinks. This whole thing is way too public, and I think, and look, I could be wrong, but being cynical, you're often right. I think this is Amorim's people saying, let's put some pressure on Liverpool.
100%. That's what I was going to say. But now it's obviously backlashing because Liverpool are going to go for slot. Amorim might not get the West Ham job because I think Julien Lopetegui is also in for the West Ham job and might have a better chance just on his previous Premier League experience to get the West Ham job and not Amorim. But yeah, I saw exactly like you to put pressure on Liverpool.
Newcastle fall away to Crystal Palace 2-0. Jules, Newcastle can still qualify for Europe. Should they use this as a criteria to keep or sack Eddie Howe?
No, I don't. It's a bit like what you said earlier about who we're talking about Europe.
Pochettino,
exactly. No, I don't think so. If you think that the team is developing, progressing, you had a lot of injuries, you went into Champions League. If you think that Eddie Howe is still the right guy for that, then keep him. If you think that he made mistakes, that if you finish 9th or 8th is partly his fault or a lot of his fault, then get rid of him.
And if you think you can get somebody better,
yeah,
I think
exactly.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure that's the case. I think he's been under pressure this season. I think he still is, even if the result were maybe a little bit better lately, but that was a terrible performance from them away at Palace. That was really, really bad. So
I'd be inclined to keep him and fire Jason Tindall.
Imagine. I'm not sure we would let that go.